Good morning. So I struggle to know when to stop with the nibbles and with the buffets, meals out. Really good question, and it reminded me of something that I spoke about not recently, actually. Not too recently, yeah. Actually, quite recently. Got the wording wrong. About this exact thing, about our hunger and how it's very much linked to our tastes. So if you are coming in, give me a hello. If you're on replay, drop a replay below. Let me know you are in on this. It's a really quick one just for meals out, eating out, I know around the season especially. And if you haven't downloaded my free Christmas survival guide where we go over curbing cravings, eating out guide, just comment below with guide and I'll send that over to you. But what I want to talk to you today, and I'll start off with this study, it's really interesting. So with me, I got really excited then. It's really interesting. You'll probably go, that's not that interesting, man. Anyway, they gave people macaroni and cheese. And what they did is when they gave people macaroni and cheese, started eating the macaroni and cheese, and they found that people could only eat so much macaroni and cheese, essentially. But then what happens if you give them garlic bread or chips on the side, for example, people eat a bit of the garlic bread and the fries, then they go back to the macaroni and cheese, and they actually end up eating more macaroni and cheese. And that's because of something called taste fatigue, which we know happens. The more choice of food you have, the more likely you are to eat more. The more choice of food you have, the more likely you are to eat more, which is interesting, right? So given that, the more choice of food you have, the more likely you are to eat more, what we need to look at is, okay, at a buffet, when there's nibbles, I'm more likely to eat more. Oh, one of them. I'm the same. When I go to like a buffet, we pick up a plate and we're like, oh, that looks like that. Oh, and then there's that as well. Oh, I'm going to have to come up for more. Whereas what they find is when you walk around the buffet first and make a choice, I'm going to have those 2 meals today and I'm happy with them too. Now, of course, I'm saying this from a point of view if someone wants to make a change. Of course, give yourself permission to do what the hell you want and what makes you happy. That's the important thing. If you're doing it and beating yourself up, something's up. If you're doing it and you are happy, and that's fine. This is if you want to make a change with that. So something we went over when we were having this chat about this question was about when you approach the situation, just stopping. And one of her cues is to clap her hands. And it's funny because we were joking, and I said about one of our coaches, Julie, who actually says that I always clap my hands. I've now noticed it more. Right, clap my hands. But one of her things is just, even if it's like just putting her hands together, to pause. Stopgap, hands come together. Then she makes a decision. At these nibbles, I'm going to have that and that and that. Or I'm going to have that and that. At the meal out, I'm going to have that meal. And she makes a choice before, rather than going, oh, bit that. And this is where she wants to. She's got lots of social events around, and she wants to be a bit more controlled in that. So now she's going to limit her taste. So, I'm the same with everyone. And this is a really interesting point, because even if you take fruit, right? Fruit, healthy, lots of nutrition in there, but it's delicious to me. And if you've got a really great fruit bowl, it's great for the kids. The kids will almost pick a bit of that, and it's great. They're trying new foods. This is what it's great at. But for me, there's a few grapes, apple, plums, Sharon fruit. I haven't had Sharon fruit in a while. Oh, melon, there's still melon. Oh, there's honey. The more variety, the more I'll eat. So one of the things we then spoke about is, okay, let's enjoy your meals out just have what you want at the meals out. This is another option. Have what you want at the meals out. But in the day, just limit your choices of foods. So she's like, yeah, actually, that's a good shout. Because I often have just porridge and porridge in the morning, and I'm fine with that. And then at lunch, I often just busy anyway, so I have a soup or a protein shake. Cool, okay. Well, why don't you just say you have your porridge for breakfast, then if you're still hungry, have a protein shake or soup throughout the day. And I'm not saying do that, but for her, she's like, yeah, that actually makes me feel good. That's my one rule now, that I actually feel in control of, rather than have loads of choices. What if I have that? Should I have that? Should I have that? And it's like overwhelming. You think, I'll start in January. And she's in control. She's given herself permission to enjoy herself out. She's got 2 strategies. One strategy to help her physiology work for her, so she can be really in control of her food and not beating herself up. Because let's face it, the food industry spends millions, billions on making us eat more. That's what the role is. It makes us thirsty. Salt, fat, that carbohydrate, sugary sensation, all combination in our mouth. From our mouth, when we start digesting food, like we're digesting food in our mouth from that moment. Salivary glands, all these things coming up. So I hope that helps. Comment below if you found that helpful. If you do want a copy of my free Christmas survival guide, eating out guide, curbing your cravings guide, everything in one, and my power questions, which help you put you in control so you can feel in control again, just comment below of guide and I'll send it over to you. Any questions, as always, do let me know, and I'll see you soon. Have an awesome weekend. Take care.